Somebody is expert in cooking. Somebody is expert in dancing. So if I see somebody is expert in dancing, if I feel envious, then that is wrong. But if I see that expertise is Krishna, then I will see Krishna in everything. I will not have that enviousness towards Krishna. There is, I will not have enviousness towards anything because Krishna is the main artist. We are all art of Krishna. So Krishna puts the art in his creation. That is, everybody has something or the other, some talent or the other, some expertise or the other. We have to identify that, and when we identify that, we should understand that ability is Krishna. So now let's see. Ninth verse. Today, seventh chapter, ninth verse. पुण्यो गन्धपृथिव्यां च तेजश्चास्मि विभावसौ जीवनं सर्वभूतेषु तपश्चास्मि तपस्विषु. I will chant, and after that, two devotees can chant. One of you can unmute yourself. Aruna, can you unmute? After I chant, you chant. पुण्यो गन्धा पृथिव्यां च
पुण्यो गन्धपृथिव्यां च
तेजश्चास्मि विभावसौ
तेजश्चास्मि विभावसो
जीवनं सर्वभूतेषु
जीवनं सर्वभूतेषु
तपश्चास्मि तपस्विषु
तपश्चास्मि तपस्विषु.
Aswani Prabhu, you chant, then I will chant after you. You chant. Chant. Punyam chant. Aswani Prabhu, please chant. Hari Bol. What happened? Okay. I will chant, then you chant. Punyo gandha prithivyam cha.
पुण्यो गन्धपृथिव्यां च
पुण्यो गंध पृथिव्यां च
पुण्यो गन्धपृथिव्यां
पृथिव्यां च
च
तेजश्चास्मि विभावसौ
तेजश्चास्मि विभावसौ
जीवनं सर्वभूतेषु
जीवनं सर्वभूतेषु
जीवनं सर्वभूतेषु
जीवनं सर्वभूतेषु
तपश्चास्मि तपस्विषु
तपस्कस्मामि तपस्विषु
तपश्चास्मि तपस्विषु
तपश्चास्मि तपस्विषु
तपस्विषु पुण्यो गंध पृथिव्यां च. When the rains fall or you put water in the earth, that time there is a nice fragrance. That fragrance is Krishna. That original fragrance of the earth is Krishna. मिट्टी में पानी डाला और वो गंध आया. That gandh is Krishna. I am original fragrance of the earth, Krishna says. In this, I am this, I am that, Krishna says. Here Krishna speaks about the Brahman aspect. Brahmano hi pratishtha. Krishna has infused his energy in each and every matter. So the fragrance of the earth is Krishna. Original fragrance is Krishna. Then, Punyo Gandha Prithivyam cha Tejas Chasmi Vibhavaso. What is the meaning of Vibhavaso? Vibhavaso means fire. The heat is Krishna. The heat of the fire is Krishna. So that is how when you see something, you should immediately remember Krishna. When there is a fire, there is a heat, we should immediately understand that heat is Krishna. Jivanam sarvabhuteshu. Jivanam means pranavayu. Who is that pranavayu? What is that life force? That life force of everyone is Krishna. If you see this, then we will be indebted. Yes, today I am alive because the pranavayu is Krishna. Krishna is present. Krishna is always present with everyone. The moment that Krishna leaves the body, the soul also leaves the body. That life force is Krishna. And then Krishna says, Tapasvishu, Tapaschasmi, tapasvishu. Tapaschasmi. What is the meaning of tapaschasmi? The penance. The penance of an ascetic is Krishna. Even to perform a tapasya that requires mercy of Krishna. So that tapasya is also Krishna. The purpose Srila Prabhupada says. Can one of you read the purpose? Vimalangi Mataji is present. Can you read the purpose, Mataji? Venkatesh Prabhu, you read the purpose. Vimalangi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Dandat Pranam. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Punya means that which not decompose. Punya is original. Everything in the material world has a certain flavor or fragrance. As the flavor and fragrance in the flower or in the earth, in the water, in fire, in air, etc. The uncontaminated flavor, the original flavor which is permeates everything, is Krishna. Similarly, everything has a particular original taste, and this taste can be changed by a mixture of chemicals. So everything original has some smell, some fragrance, and some taste. Vibhash, Vibhavasu means fire. Without fire, we cannot run factories, we cannot cook, etc. And that fire is Krishna. The heat in the fire is Krishna. According to the Vedic medicine, indigestion is due to the low temperature in the belly. So even for a digestion, fire is needed. So in Krishna consciousness, we become aware that earth, water, fire, air, and every active principle, all chemicals and all material elements are due to the Krishna. The duration of man's life is also due to Krishna. So therefore, by the grace of Krishna, man can prolong his life or diminish it. So Krishna consciousness is active in every sphere. Hare Krishna.
And you'll say, how is it a man can prolong his life or diminish it? Yes, by the grace of Krishna. So the more we do tapasya, the more longevity in the life is there. A person can increase his life. Increase of the life is dependent on your breath. How many breaths you have. The more we take anxiety in the material life, the more we breathe fast. The more we breathe fast, your so much of count is there in your in your duration. You have this much. Okay, you have your count is 1 lakh breath. And suppose if I breathe very fast, then your days are less. But the more you do tapasya, the morning hours are especially meant for yoga sadhana, for chanting the holy name. So what you're doing, you are breathing very slowly. You are not taking this anxiety. The more we take anxiety, our age duration reduces. So Krishna's mercy. What is Krishna's mercy? Giving his name is also his mercy. So giving acharyas is mercy. Giving sadhu sangha is mercy. In this way now about fire, what has been spoken, we cannot cook without fire. So ultimately we are dependent on fire. That means the heat of the fire is Krishna. You may say I have that, what is it nowadays comes? Induction cooker and all those things. But that heat is not the original heat. That is why so many diseases, it is all coming because of such type of heat. Original heat, if you see, it is because of the fire heat. The more we cook in the fire wood, especially in the gobar current, that fire is actually the purest fire. And that fire, if we make in that fire, that taste of the food is completely different. And the purity and the originality of the taste also is maintained. Actually, should not cook very fast. What we have in our house, the gas cylinder and all those things, actually it cooks very fast, but the taste is lost. The real taste is the more you cook slowly, it should actually happen very slowly. It should not be very fast. You should cook slowly and the heat remains and that heat maintains the taste. बीजं मां सर्वभूतानां विद्धि पार्थ सनातनं बुद्धिर्बुद्धिमतामस्मि तेजस्तेजस्विनामहम् बीजं मां सर्वभूतानां विद्धि पार्थ सनातनं बुद्धिर्बुद्धिं मतामस्मि तेजस्तेजस्विनामहम्. One of you can unmute. Anybody wants to unmute? Raksha Mataji unmute. Chant after me.
Yes,
बीजं
Mataji.
मां सर्वभूतानां
बीजं मां सर्वभूतानां
विद्धि पार्थ सनातनम्.
विद्धि पार्थ सनातनम्
बुद्धिर्बुद्धिमतामस्मि
बुद्धिर्बुद्धिमता अस्मि
बुद्धिर्बुद्धिमतामस्मि
बुद्धिर्बुद्धिमतामस्मि
तेजस्तेजस्विनामहम्.
तेजस्तेजस्वी नामहम्.
Bijam Mam Sarvabhutana. Who is the original seed? Krishna says, I am the original seed. You will say, oh, mango is so wonderful. So which tree it was? It is coming from this tree. This tree's mango is very nice. Okay. Then what I did, I ate the fruit, I kept the seed, again sowed it, again there was a tree. Then if I ask that tree how it came because of that another the previous seed. Now, the previous state is because of what? Previous mango tree. In this way, if we go on, who is the original seed? Krishna says, I am the original seed for every living entity. Now, living entity takes a variety of bodies. 84 lakhs species are there. So, who is the origin of everything? Krishna says, I am the origin, I am the seed. Vidhi Partha Sanatana. O Sanatana. Sanatana. O Partha. Sanatana means I am the original seed. Try to understand it very nicely. Vidhi. Buddhir Buddhi Matamasi. I am that intelligence of the intelligent. If somebody is very intelligent, then immediately we should understand, oh, the intelligence of that intelligent is Krishna. Buddhir buddhimatam asmi. Asmi means myself. Krishna says, I am that intelligence of that intelligence. Somebody is very intelligent. Now, intelligence is dependent on what type of intelligence we have. Even the material intelligence, suppose somebody is very much materially intelligent. So, in the material education is very intelligent. Even that intelligence is also Krishna only. But actually, if you see, what is that real intelligence? The real intelligence is understanding that I am not the body, I am soul. Even to understand that, that requires a spiritual intelligence. And Krishna says, I am that intelligence. In material education, somebody is intelligent, appreciate it. That is also Krishna's mercy only. But real intelligence lies in understanding our spiritual constitutional position. So, having that understanding, that intelligence is Krishna. Then Krishna says, Tejas, Tejasvinamasmi, Aham, Tejasvinamaham, Aham, I am. I am that power of the powerful. Somebody is very bright. Huh? Somebody is very smart and bright and very uh, Tejas is very effulgent. Then understanding that this effulgence is nothing but Krishna. So Krishna is seen in everything. When we see Krishna in everything, स्थावर जंगम देखे न देखे तार मूर्ति सर्वत्र होए निज इष्टदेव स्फूर्ति. Whenever I am seeing movable, immovable, I am not seeing it as it is. I am seeing it as the opulence of Krishna, as the power of Krishna. That has been told here. Aswani Prabhu, please read.
Yes, Mataji. Purports text 10. O son of Pratha, know that I am the original seed of all existences, the intelligence of the intelligent, and the proudness of all powerful men. Purport. Bijam means seed. Krishna is the seed of everything. There are various living creatures, movable and inert. Bees, birds, bees, men, and many other living creatures and moving living entities, trees and plants, however, are inert. They cannot move, but only stand. Every entity is contaminated with scope of 84 lakh species of life. Some of them are moving and some of them are inert. In all cases, however, the seed of their life is Krishna. As stated in Vedic literature, Brahman, or the supreme absolute truth, is that from where everything is emanating. Krishna is Para Brahma, the original, the supreme spirit. Brahman is impersonal and Para Brahma is personal. Impersonal Brahman is situated in the personal aspect that is stated in Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, originally Krishna is the source of everything. He is the root. As the root of a tree maintains the whole tree, Krishna, being the original root of all things, maintains everything in the material manifestation. This is also confirmed in Vedic literature, Katha Upanishads 2.2.13.
Nityo
Nityo
Nityanam
Nityanam Nityo
Chetana
Nityanam
Chetana Chetananam Chetanas
Chetanas
Chetananam
Chetananam Eko
Eko
Bahunam
Bahunam
Bahunam Eko Bahunam Yo
Vidhati
Vidati.
Kaman.
He is the prime eternal among all eternals. He is the supreme living entity of all living entities, and he alone is maintaining all life. One cannot do anything without intelligence, and Krishna also says that he is the root of all intelligence. Unless a person is intelligent, he cannot understand the supreme personality of Godhead Krishna. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, until a person is intelligent, he cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, what Srila Prabhupada wants to say here? Srila Prabhupada very clearly wants to say that intelligence lies in understanding that the Supreme Lord is Krishna. So, in the material science, what happens? They try to prove Krishna is not there. So, if such type of material science which tries to prove Krishna is not there, there may be a great scientist who must have award, who might have got Nobel Prize and all these things, but he's not accepting that Lord is supreme. Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Then what is the use of that intelligence? Even though the intelligence is given by Krishna, but that intelligence is not allowing the person to accept Krishna as God, so that intelligence is not considered to be Krishna. Simple. Because Madhu and Kaitav, they were two demons. They wanted benediction from Krishna. And what is that benediction? They wanted to fight with Krishna. First thing what they wanted to do was fight with Krishna. To fight with Krishna, they wanted to get power from Krishna only. And then they told three benedictions they asked. We want to fight with you. Krishna told, okay, very good, wonderful. You can fight with me. Then they told, oh Krishna, give me the power to fight with you. Krishna told, okay, take the power to fight. We don't want to die in matter because for them everything was matter. Now Krishna gave them everything. Krishna gave them power to fight. Krishna allowed them to fight with him. But Krishna also allowed them to not die in matter. So what he did, he kept them on his lap and crushed them. Krishna's lap is not matter. Krishna's lap is transcendental. So Krishna fulfilled all their desire. In the same way, if there is a scientist who is very intelligent, now that intelligence is given by Krishna only. But what is he doing? He is misusing that intelligence to prove that Krishna is not there. That is, basically, no, there is no God. So he is misusing the intelligence which is given by Krishna. Everything is Krishna. You cannot say this is not Krishna. Everything is Krishna. Whatever negative we are seeing, that is also Krishna only. Because Krishna, like beauty is Krishna. Then ugliness is also Krishna only. What is that ugliness? There can be no ugliness than death. Death is also Krishna. Krishna says, Aham Kalasmi. Now Krishna is very intelligent. Then Krishna is all intelligent. Then Krishna is all fool also. Why is all fool? Because he's so foolish to nurture or nourish even the people who are not accepting him. That is, everything is Krishna. Whatever we see, everything is Krishna. And Krishna, Nitya Nityanam, Chaitanya is Chaitanya. Krishna is eternal. Among all the eternals, Krishna is eternal. Like every jiva is eternal. Then among all eternal, Krishna is eternal. Chaitanya is Chaitanya. Krishna is supremely conscious. So in this way, Srila Prabhupada says that a person is intelligent then we can understand that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Krishna. 11th verse. We'll take 11th and 12th verse. Balam balavatam chaham kamaraga vivarchitam dharma viruddho bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarshabha. Balam balavatam chaham kamaraga vivarchitam dharma viruddho bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarshabha. One of you unmute yourself. Romesh Prabhu, if you want to unmute, you can unmute. Balam balavatam chaham
बलं बलवतां चाहं
kamaraga vivarchitam
कामरागविवर्जितं
dharma viruddho bhuteshu
धर्माविरुद्धभूतेषु
kamosmi bharatarshabha.
कामोऽस्मि भरतर्षभा
Balam balavata chaham aham cha aham. So I am the strength of the strong. Person is very strong. Who is that strength? Krishna says, I am that strength. Kama raga vivarjitam. Kama raga vivarjitam. Now, what is that strength? That strength is devoid of passion and desire. Now, somebody is strong. Even Hitler was very strong. There is Shivaji Maharaj is very strong. There is Afzal Khan who was also strong. But Krishna says, you don't identify that strength to be me if that strength has passion and desire. Only the strength which is devoid of passion and desire, I am that strength. That means Krishna is telling, I am the strength when it is establishing Vedic principles or dharma. If the strength is opposite to dharma, if it's like Duryodhana also is very strong, then Krishna says, no, I am the strength of Arjuna. Because Arjuna is based on Vedic principles, you can say. Arjuna is based on dharma. Dharmastu sakshat bhagat pranitam. Wherever dharma is there, Krishna is there. So the strength of a strong person who is dharmic means who is following the four regulatory principles, then Krishna says, I am the strength. So that is why Krishna says, Kama Raga Vivarjita. You should not have Kama. Kama means passion, and you should not have Raga. Raga means attachment. Dharma Viruddha Bhuteshu. Dharma Viruddha Bhuteshu. Kamosri Bharatarshan. If the sex life is uh, is contrary to religious principles, Krishna doesn't identify himself. If the sex life is not contrary to the religious principles, that Krishna says, I am that sex life. So what is the purpose of sex life? To beget children, to produce children who can be developed in Krishna consciousness. There are so many children born, but if the children are just behaving like pigs, then what is the use of the sex life? That is not a sex life. If they are behaving like pigs, they don't know what to eat, what not to eat. They eat anything. They eat gutter. They drink wine. What is the use? That sex life is not Krishna. But in fact, if the father, mother have produced Krishna conscious children, then their sex life is actually Krishna. Krishna says, I am that sex life which is not contrary to the religious principles. So the purpose of the Prabhupada says the strong man's strength should be applied to protect the weak, not for personal aggression. Similarly, sex life according to religious principles, dharma, should be for the propagation of children, not otherwise. The responsibility of parents is then to make that offspring Krishna conscious. So there are sometimes sex life is there, but they don't want children. They just use some things, some artificial things, so that they don't want to produce children. Even if they have children, they'll go and if they become pregnant, they will go and abort themselves. So such type of sex life it is actually degraded sex life. So Krishna says, produce children. If the sex life is for producing children, I am there. But then what is the purpose? To develop children in Krishna consciousness. 12 verse. This is the last verse for today. Ye chaiva satvika bhava raja rajasastamasascha me sastraye मत्तः एवैति तान् विद्धि न त्वहं तेषु मे ते मयि ये चैव सात्विका भावा राजसास्तामसाश्च ये मत्त एवेति तान् विद्धि न त्वहं तेषु ते मयि. Chandrapati Prabhu, will you chant after me? Chandrapati Prabhu or Girija Mataji, if you chant after me. Girija, unmute
Yes,
yourself. Haribol.
Hare-
Yeah.
yeah.
ये चैव सात्विका भावा
ये चैव सात्विका भावा
राजसास्तामसाश्च ये
राजसास्तामसाश्च ये
मत्त एवेति तान् विद्धि
मत्त ये वेति तान् विद्धि
न त्वहं तेषु ते मयि.
न त्वां तिरेषु ते मयि.
ये च एवः ये च एवः च एवः certainly सात्विकः भावः whatever state of being सात्विका भावः राजसास तामसाः राजसः तामसः that means goodness uh, सात्विकः राजसः तामसः goodness passion ignorance everything is manifested by Krishna's energy. Krishna says ये च एवः सात्विकः भावः राजसः तामसः च एव मत्तः मत्तः means from me. So all these gunas sato guna rajo guna tamo guna everything emanates from Krishna. But Krishna says I am independent. Tan viddhi na tu aham teshu te mai. I am independent. I am not under the control of the modes of material nature. On the contrary, they are within me, Krishna says. Natu aham. Natu aham means I am not in their clutches. I am not in the clutches of the three gunas. In fact, the three gunas are controlled by me. So Rajasaha, Tamasaha, Sattvikaha, everything is emanating from Krishna, but Krishna is not under the control. In fact, on the contrary, everything lies within Krishna. Girija, you read.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Know that all states of being, be they of goodness, passion, or ignorance, are manifested by my energy. I am, in one sense, everything, but I am independent. I am not under the modes of material nature, for they, on the contrary, are within me. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. All material activities in the world are being conducted under the three modes of material nature. Although these material modes of nature are emanations from the Supreme Lord Krishna, he is not subject to them. For instance, under the state laws, one may be punished, but the king, the lawmaker, is not subject to that law. Similarly, all the modes of material nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance, are emanations from the Supreme Lord Krishna, but Krishna itself subject to material nature. Therefore, he is nirguna, which means that these gunas or modes, although issuing from him, do not affect him. That is one of the special characteristics of Bhagavan or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna
Okay,
Mata.
one more verse will take because it is collecting verse. Trivir gunamayir bhave. Trivir gunamayir bhave. Ehi sarvam idam jagat. मोहितं नाभिजानाति मामेभ्य परम अव्ययम् त्रिभिर्गुणमयैर्भावैः कृष्ण से त्रिभिर्गुणमयैर्भावैः एभिः सर्वम् इदं मतम् एभिः सर्वमिदं जगत् मोहितं नाभिजानाति मामेभ्य परमव्ययम् अपर्णा माता जी आप अनम्यूट करिए मेरे पीछे दोहराइए
हरे कृष्ण
त्रिभिर्गुणमयैर्भावैः त्रिभिर्गुणं
त्रिभिर्गुणमयैर्भावे देवी सर्वविधं
सर्वं
जगत्
इदं जगत् मोहितं न
सर्वमिदं जगत् मोहितं नाभिजातानि मामेभ्यो परमव्ययम्
त्रिभिर्गुणामयैर्भावे देहि सर्वमिदं जगत् मोहितं नाभिजानाति मामेथ परमव्ययम् त्रिभिर्गुणमयैर्भावे कृष्ण जी मयैर्भावे
May Bhava.
yeah हाँ so tribhir guna all these three gunas are there tribhir guna mayer bhave gunamayi gunamayi means all these three gunas which the living entities have every living entities have all these three gunas it is actually the permutation and combination which decides whether this person is in the mood of goodness or the passion or weakness but all these three gunas are present with everyone. For somebody, it will be less because if ignorance is not there, you will not sleep. Ignorance is there, that is why sleeping is also sleep, but it will be very negligent. And that ignorance is used in Krishna's service. Because if you don't sleep, your body will not be take rest. Krishna says one has to take rest. If you don't take rest, yuktahara viharasri, yukta chistatsa kalmasi, yukta swapna vabodhasri, yuga bhavati. So if you don't take rest, then your body will not be able to function very nicely. So some small rest is required for everyone. So now what happens is because the three gunas are there, if the three gunas are not used in Krishna's service, then mohitam, because of the three gunas, the person is completely deluded or is put in the illusion. Because of that, na abhijanati, mohitam na abhijanati, he is not able to understand what Supreme Personality of God. I am the Supreme Person. He is not able to understand why Nabhijanat. He is not able to know that Krishna, who is the Supreme, is Abhyayam. Abhyayam means inexhaustible. Abhyayam also means he is imperishable. Krishna is imperishable. Krishna is Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. Because the person is deluded by the three modes of material nature, he is not able to see Krishna as a person. First thing, Param, as a supreme person, and that too Avyayam. Avyayam means one who is not perishable. So in this way, Krishna says, why it is happening? Because of the delusion created by the three gunas. That is why he is forgetting his relationship with Krishna. Actually, every jiva is related to Krishna. Paro Shakti. Every jiva is Parashakti of Krishna. Paropi Manute Anartham. Because he is forgetting his identification, he identifies himself with the body. Because he identifies with the body, Manute Anartham is identifying with the Anartham is with the matter. That is why matter overpowers the jiva. Okay. Aruna Mataji, you read.
Hare Krishna, purport by Srila Prabhupada. The whole world is enchanted by the three modes of material nature. Those who are bewildered by these three modes cannot understand that the transcendental to this material nature is the Supreme Lord, Krishna. Every living entity under the influence of the material nature has a particular type of body and a particular type of physi- physiological and psychological and biological activities accordingly. There are four classes of men functioning in the three different material modes of nature. Those who are purely in the mode of goodness are called Brahmanas. Those who are purely in the mode of passion are called Kshatriyas. Those who are in the modes of both passion and ignorance are called Vaishyas. Those who are completely in ignorance are called Shudras. And those who are less than that are animals or animal life. However, these designations are not permanent. I may be either a Brahmana, Kshatriya, or Vaishya, or whatever. In any case, this life is temporary. But although life is temporary, and we do not know what we are going to be in the next life, by the spell of this illusory energy, we consider ourselves in terms of this bodily conception of life, and we thus think that we are American, Indian, Russians, or Brahmana, Hindu, Muslim, etc. And if we become entangled with the bodies of material nature, then we forget the Supreme Personality of Godhead who is behind all these modes. So Lord Krishna says that living entities deluded by these three modes of nature do not understand that behind the material background is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There are many different kinds of living entities, human beings, demigods, animals, etc. And each and every one of them is under the influence of material nature, and all of them have forgotten the transcendent personality of Godhead. Those who are in the modes of passion and ignorance, and even those who are in the mode of goodness, cannot go beyond the impersonal Brahman conception of the absolute truth. They are bewildered before the Supreme Lord in his personal feature, which possesses all beauty, opulence, knowledge, strength, fame, and renunciation. When even those who are in God goodness cannot understand, what hope is there for those in passion and ignorance? Krishna consciousness is transcendental to all these three modes of material nature, and those who are truly established in Krishna consciousness are actually liberated. Hare Krishna.
Very good. So what we are understanding by all these verses? Can anybody say what we are trying to understand by all these verses? And what this verse implies? This verse and the previous verses. Can anybody speak about this? Very good. In the previous verses, Krishna is telling, I am this, I am that, I am fire in the, I am that, I am the heat in the fire and all this. Suddenly Krishna is speaking about the modes of material nature, and then he says deluded by the three modes of material nature. That is what Krishna wants to speak. And before that Krishna says, Krishna says Rama Kama Raga Vivarchitam Dharma Viruddha Bhuteshu. That is what Krishna wants to say. Can everybody speak? Yes, unmute yourself. What Krishna wants to say.
Can I try, Mataji?
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, Krishna is declaring that he is the main strength or the material behind all the strength, everything. At the same time, uh, he is Nirguna.
Uh-huh. Anybody else? Yeah, yeah. He's Nirguna. Yes, he doesn't have material nature.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Can I try?
Yes.
Mataji. As a we are living entity, we are conditioned soul. So we are in the clutches of three guna. हम तीन गुणों में तो बंधे ही है माता जी. तो मतलब भगवान कह रहे हैं कि आप इसमें आप ये तीन गुणों को आप पार कर सकते हो अगर मेरा शेल्टर ले लो तो.
और कोई ट्राई करना चाहता है? अब एकदम बराबर बोलिए. और कोई किसी ने ट्राई करना चाह रहे हैं? वेंकटेश प्रभु, इसमें से क्या कृष्ण बोलना चाह रहे हैं? What Krishna wants to say? Why Krishna first identifies himself with various aspects, then suddenly Krishna says that it should not be, it should be completely devoid of passion, lust, and all. And then Krishna says it should be based on religious principles. Then Krishna speaks about the modes of physical nature. Then Krishna speaks about deluded by the modes of physical nature. So, if Krishna is giving the three modes of nature, how is it that Krishna is deluding the person with three modes of nature, and what Krishna really wants to say? Venkatesh, try out.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So in this verse, Krishna wants to say that goodness, passion, and ignorance is controlled by the Lord only, and in previous verse, his Lord also says that all balam and all these activities are controlled by the Lord only. But specifically, the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance, this is also controlled by the Lord. And Lord says that I am the above the all the modes, and I am controlling all the modes. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Now, any activity when a human does, he does when he is in the particular mode. Now, for a sex life, there is a passion, no doubt. And passion is there, then only sex life is there. Without passion, what sex life is? But that passion is used in Krishna's sense. A person understands this passion is given by Krishna. That means everything, now Balam, the power, when he's using that power. So now like he has to go and conquer in the battlefield. Now he has to use passion, he has to use the ignorance also, he has to use everything. That means this material modes of material, the modes of material nature is given by Krishna for acquiring certain qualities, and these qualities are Krishna. That means these qualities are given by Lord. Qualities are given by Lord. And why it is given by Lord? Because the three modes of material nature is also given by Krishna. And whatever activities they are doing or whatever qualities they are acquiring, it is also because of the three gunas. But if that three gunas is making me forget Krishna, then I am put in illusion. Then I am put in this Maya. But Krishna says it is very easy to cross the Maya. Daivi hesha guramayi mama maya duratya mameva ye prapadyante maya itam taranti. So Krishna says this Maya. What is this Maya? Maya means not this. What is a Maya? Maya means putting illusion. That illusion is because I am forgetting Krishna. And this Maya, Krishna says, that is also my power only. It's my energy. Mama Maya Duratya. It is my energy. But how a person can cross this Maya? Mameva ye prapatyante. Krishna says, if a person takes shelter of me, then only he can cross this. So here we'll stop. This verse, 14th verse, we'll take in the next class. A small homework for those who have attended. Try to memorize.
Motherji, one very small question. You mentioned about Maya, but Motherji, what about Yog Maya and Mahamaya?
So in Maya, we have two types. Yoga Maya makes us forget Krishna, but that is for giving pleasure to Krishna. Like the Vrajavasis, they don't know that Krishna is God. But not knowing Krishna is God, is increasing their rasa towards Krishna. That is Yoga Maya. Mahamaya also makes a person forget Krishna, but that is conditioned souls. These conditioned souls forget that Krishna is the supreme person. Because of this, which they are going away from Krishna, which is not pleasing Krishna. But this person, the Yoga Maya, which is also making the person, but which person? They are all Parshadas of Krishna. They are forgetting that Krishna is God, but by which the rasa is increased. So it is like electricity is one thing.
Yes,
The same electricity can be used for heating, the same electricity can be used for cooling.
yes, Motherji. Yes, Motherji.
So I want you all to memorize this verse, the 14th verse, before we start
Yes,
this verse. Memorize this verse, 14th verse, and read the perfect nice.
yes,
And if you can remember any instance where you can quote this verse, any instance where you quote this verse, that also you can speak out next time. Okay?
yes,
Hare
yes.
Krishna.
Thank you, Mother. Thank you.
Any other doubt? We'll stop here. Hare